All right, here we go for the Unit 2 review. The table below shows the cost of different numbers of hamburgers at a restaurant. This is your X, this is your Y, because the cost depends on how many burgers you buy. The change in Y is going up by 12 each time. You could find that by doing subtraction. The change in X is going up by 2 each time. So that means that the slope of this information is 12 over 2, which simplifies, if you're not sure, you can put that in the calculator. So that simplifies alpha y equals 1, 12 over 2, simplifies to 6. So the slope of this line is 6. If it wanted to ask for the y-intercept, you would need to know that one burger is going to cost $6. So if you went back 1 to get to 0, you'd have to go back 6. So if you bought 0 burgers, you would pay $0. One burger, you'd pay $6. So the slope of the line is 6. The cost increases at 6 each time. So the slope is A, and that is your answer. Number 2, which equation represents the relationship shown in the table below? So first you find the change in Y. This is going down by 6. This, you might look at it and say, well, that's not 6. You can use your calculator. Negative 24 minus negative 6. So the change is going to be negative 18. And then same thing, use your calculator. Negative 33 minus negative 24, change of negative 9. So that's okay if they're different numbers. When you do the change in X, you'll notice that those are going to vary too. So if you want to use your calculator, negative 12 minus negative 16 gives you a change of 4. 0 minus 12 gives you a change of 12. And then 6 minus 0 gives you a change of 6. Okay? So those are your changes each time. Then you can pick any pair to do your slope. So let's say I did negative 6 over 4. If I put that in my calculator, alpha y equals negative 6 over 4 simplifies to negative 3 over 2. If I did the same thing with the next pair and did negative 18 over 12, it simplifies to the same thing. If I did the last pair and did negative 9 over 6, it's the same thing. So it's okay if the numbers change because they will all simplify to the same thing. So my slope is negative 3 over 2. My y-intercept is the point where x is 0. So my y-intercept right here is negative 24. So if I look at my slopes, negative 3 over 2 is my slope, and negative 24 is my y-intercept. That's the wrong slope and the wrong y-intercept. That's the wrong slope and the wrong y-intercept. Wrong slope, wrong y-intercept, so B is the only option. Number 3. Julian earns an allowance each week for completing a set of chores. The money is deposited into a saving account that already has money in it. So we know that it already started with money. It did not start with $0. Julian's savings account balance is shown in the table below. So the change in Y each time is going up by 50. The change in X each time is going up by 2. So the slope is 50 over 2, which equals 25. This is your slope, but that is not the question. The question is, based on this information, which statement is true? The beginning balance, beginning balance, beginning balance, beginning balance. That means that they're asking for the y-intercept. So at 0 weeks, how much money did he have? So if you go back 2 weeks, you'd have to go back $50. If I went back $50, I'd end up at $75. So he started with $75. If you're not sure about this, this is a good time to use your calculator hack that we learned in class. So let's look at that with that. Stat, edit, your X's go here, so 2, 4, 6, 8. Your Y's go here, 125, 175, 225, 275. Those are your X's and Y's. Stat, calc, for calculate. Oh Lord, what did I do? Let's see. Stat, edit. 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. 125, 175, 225, 275. Okay? Stat, calc, 4, calculate. Looks like I did something wrong, so start all over. Clear your RAM, and it might have just been that I didn't clear my RAM. And try it again. Stat edit. 2, 4, 6, 8. 125, 175, 225, 275. Okay, we'll try it again. Stat, calc, 4, calculate. I don't know what's happening. Okay, I figured it out. When I went to stat, it had said list 1 and list 3. So if yours ever does that, to fix that, you go stat and then 5 and then enter, and it will reset whatever that error was. So now we're back to stat edit. Let's try this again. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then 125, 175, 225, and 275. Okay? Stat, calc, 4, calculate. There we go. So the slope is 25 and the y-intercept is 75. That's what we found. The slope was 25 and then the y-intercept was 75. So this is just another way of getting to the answer. Next question, Faith and Destiny each write an equation to represent the line shown on the graph. Faith writes 4x minus 2. And Destiny writes y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Well, the y-intercept is minus 2, so both of them are right about that. My next perfect point is right here, which means I'd have to go up and over 2 and 8. So my slope is 2 over 8, which simplifies to 1/4. Neither of them said that the slope was 1/4, so they are both wrong. Okay, given the information in the graph, how can the slope of line CE be determined? So if I'm finding the slope of this line, I only need to know the height and the width of one of the triangles. And then I need to make a ratio of height to width, right? How tall is it and how wide is it, or rise over run. So that's all I need to know to find the slope. I'm not finding the difference of anything, so both of those are eliminated. And I don't want the ratio of horizontal to vertical. I want the ratio of vertical to horizontal. So letter D is the correct answer. Next one, y-intercept is right there where it's crossing through the y's at 0, 0. And then I need to find my slope. So I see perfect points all along my graph, and then I can count up and over. But this is not counting by just ones because this is 9. So it's counting by 3, 6, 9. It goes up 6 and over 1. So the slope of this line is 6 over 1, or 6. So I've got to figure out which of these simplifies to 6. 30 over 5 equals 6. Okay? 5 per minute would be a slope of 5. So that's out. Loves books and reads 14 pages in 6 minutes. That simplifies to 7 over 3. So that's not right. Buys a dozen glazed donuts for $2. So he buys $2 for 12. So that would be 1/6. That one's upside down. So A is the correct answer. Graph the equation below. The equation is y equals 6x. Let's say you were like, oh my gosh, I have no idea. You can graph it. Use your calculator as a resource to help you. So you can hit y equals and type in your equation, 6x, and then just look at the graph. That's what it should look like. So the graph is going to go through 0, 0 because the y-intercept is 0. And then every step is going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and over 1. Or you could go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and over 1. The height of the steps are 6. The width of the steps are 1, right, which equals 6. The y-intercept is 0, so y equals 6x. Next one, the graph shows a relationship between temperature and time. The y-intercept is right there at 45. So I know that it cannot be A because that doesn't have a y-intercept. That has a y-intercept of 0. And then I'm going to count down and over. So let's say I use these two perfect points. And I just went all the way down, all the way over. So this is counting by 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So this is going 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So the change in y is 30. the change in x is 10. So the slope is 30 over 10, which simplifies to 3. Is that a positive or negative slope? It's negative. So that means the slope is negative 3. The y-intercept is 45. And so letter C is the correct answer. Last one, write the equation of the line that passes through these 2 points. So you could make a table, 0, 7, 1, 9. Change in y is 2, change in x is 1, and the y-intercept is right there. So y equals 2x plus 7. Or let's say you wanted to use your calculator hack. You could do that too. Clear your RAM since there's stuff stored in the memory. Stat, edit, enter in your numbers, 0 and 7. Oh, 0 and 1, I mean. Those are your x's. And then your y's are 7 and 9. Stat, calc, 4, calculate. So that means that the slope is 2, the y-intercept is 7, so that's what the equation would look like. Slope is 2, y-intercept is 7.